Welcome back. My name is Lightworker Wit and I'm so excited to get into your July forecast. Please forgive my appearance. I've been trying to get this little intro video done for a couple days, but my makeup wasn't done and work has been really busy. So we got to take me as I am, okay? And I want to make sure that this video gets done so I can continue on with the rest of the signs. If this is your first time here, hi, hello, welcome. Let me give you a brief overview of what we're going to go over in this reading. First, we're going to look at your monthly forecast, okay? We're going to look at the month of July overall for you, okay? And then we're going to look into your love life and relationships and your career and finances. The way I do those two readings are the same, they're a little bit different from the forecast, where I look into what to expect, the unexpected theme of the month, and I clarify things as needed. I usually like to end the reading with the oracle message as well to give you an overall theme of what you can expect for this month, okay? So I really give an in-depth reading for you for what to expect for the month of July. Of course, available to my members first. If you're watching this after the fact, if you're watching this towards the end of July, go ahead and make sure you join my membership so that you can be first to receive my August forecast, okay? And that's pretty much like what we're going to look into. I encourage you to watch for your sun, moon, and rising so you have a really good 360 view of what to expect for the month overall. But if you only watch one, I would say watch for your sun sign, okay? Thank you so much for being here. I love you so much. Check out all my offerings in the description box below. Be sure to like and subscribe. Let's get started. Hi, Aries. How are you? I'm sorry, I'm like grabbing my tits and I don't even have it's late. I'm relaxed. Okay, I'm comfortable. Sorry if I'm just grabbing and let's go ahead and get into your reading. I've shuffled everything. You know how this goes by now. Let's go ahead and get into it rather. You know, the Ten of Cups did come out as I was shuffling your love and relationships deck, and I'm happy to see it again here in the What to Embrace. So I just want to give you a quick little, if you're holding your breath, I often hold my breath when I do my own monthly forecast. Things look good, okay? Let me just try to, it's time for me to take these out high key, but I'm holding on. I might get it to the weekend so I can at least have time to take them out versus trying to do it during the week, you know what I mean? Okay. Current self, Nine of Wands. All right, the Nine of Wands is about perseverance and resilience. Okay, that's your current self at the top of July. Theme of the month is death. Don't get scared. This represents the zodiac sign of Scorpio, but also the theme of transformation and rebirth, okay? Change. Key goal to pursue is Knight of Wands. That is ambition, that is activity, that is pursuing a goal. This is not like lazy bitch energy. This is go ahead, get out of the bed and get going energy. This could also be related to a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Obstacle to overcome is Four of Cups. Now this I would connect to laziness. This is apathy. This is feeling like the grass is always greener on the other side, feeling sad about your circumstances, feeling like you don't like what's being offered to you. In a way, this could be described as lack of gratitude, okay? This could be connected to, I'm just trying to make sure I'm recording. This could be connected to lack of gratitude because it's like, oh gosh, how lucky of you to have options to consider. I've seen this card described in that way, and I think it's a really interesting perspective shift. But in general, this is just about you not really liking the offers being presented to you right now. Maybe you're at a fork in the road and you're feeling like you have to choose A or B and you don't like either option, you know? We'll dig into it, don't worry. Major accomplishment is Six of Cups. This is reconciliation. This is apologies. This is revisiting the past. This is connected to friends and family of the past. So maybe you're spending time with loved ones that you're close with, or this could be a major reconciliation happening this month. What to avoid is Ten of Wands. This is putting too much on your plate, doing too much by yourself, trying to take it all on by yourself. Instead, you are being, you know what's really interesting? You have the Ten of Wands, Ten of Cups, Ten of Pentacles right next to each other. July is going to be a major month for you for ending cycles. Okay. What to embrace is the Ten of Cups. This is family. This is big happy family. This is dreams come true. This is, I mean, I would really connect this to the Six of Cups, especially if you've been isolated or ostracized, is what I wanted to say, from family, or a relationship even. This would be a big indicator to me that you would be reconnecting with them. Advice and where to find support is the Ten of Pentacles. This is legacy, wealth, and abundance. So on top of your relationships improving, you also have some money coming to you as well. So I'm very happy about that for you, Aries. Advice and encouragement is the Hangman. This is really interesting because it does kind of connect to the Four of Cups a little bit. The Four of Cups the Hangman is about letting go of control, kind of like feeling suspended, feeling like you're waiting on others to make a decision about you or for you, or feeling like you can't move forward until a decision is made. It is a message of feeling out of control, and usually a message connected with you're waiting for something or someone else before you can move forward. You're feeling stuck. Okay. Now, interesting that would be in the position of advice and encouragement. Now, this is typically going to be energy that you experience at the end of July. If that happens, if you feel like you're sort of at a standstill at the end of July, let it happen. Mostly because first of all, the full moon is going to be happening. I just finally updated my calendar on my wall, my physical calendar on my wall. So I'm looking at it. The full moon in Aquarius is going to be on July 29th. So we have a full moon happening pretty much at the end of the month. I would say let whatever happens, Aries. Don't force anything. But on top of that, the Mercury retrograde ends July 23rd. So you may quite literally be feeling stuck and at a standstill simply because of Mercury retrograde happenings. I'm about to start, after I record your forecast, I'm going to do Mercury retrograde readings for all signs. So if you haven't watched that, go to my profile and check that out, because I want to give each sign a little bit of like insight into what they can expect this retrograde. If it were me though, Aries, just knowing how I operate my readings, it looks like things are going to go well for you in July, but by the time we get to the end of July, you're meant to kind of take your hands off the reins. And I know that might feel scary, but it's looking like you're doing all throughout July. You're making moves, you're connecting with people, you're making amends, doing what you need to do, getting money. But by the end of July, it's time to say, okay, God, I did my part, you do yours, All right, let's just look into what we can clarify here. All right, so current self is Nine of Wands. I'm not going to clarify that because this could represent so many things for so many different people. So many of you could be persevering through a multitude of situations. So I'm not going to clarify that. I am going to clarify this Death card for you. What is transforming? What is being reborn? What is ending for you in the month of July? What is the Death card for Aries, please? And we have, okay, poverty, hard work, struggle. That would make a lot of sense since where to find support is Ten of Pentacles. If you've been feeling very stressed financially, that's coming to an end. That's beautiful. I do want to look at this Knight of Wands in terms of key goal to pursue. I almost want to see what comes out in the career deck, but I'm just going to keep it to tarot for now. In terms of what is the key goal. It could even be yourself, maybe getting back to yourself. Now that was a message that felt very prevalent for June for me. If you didn't watch any of my June content, check that out, of you like kind of reclaiming your power. But let's see with this Knight of Wands, okay? Let's check this out. What is the key goal to pursue for Aries? Please clarify. Okay, that was quick. Eight of Cups and the Devil. Okay, we've got Capricorn energy and also walking away. Now the Devil card I also connect to attachments and addictions. You know, anything that you might be overindulging in that could be considered toxic, could even be considered a toxic person, because I don't use reversals in this particular tarot deck. This could be for you, Aries. This could be a message for you to get away, actively get away from something or someone toxic. The Devil card could also be connected to work. This could be about you walking away from a work situation. That's really interesting. I didn't really get walk away from your reading, but perhaps. Because, you know, I mean, especially because your current self is the Nine of Wands, which is resilient. If your key goal to pursue this month is Nine of Wands, it would be about you actively finding a solution or actively finding like a way out of your situation that you feel trapped in, binded to. Because you see how they're chained? It would be trying to walk away from a situation that you feel stuck in. All right. Okay, let's look at the Four of Cups here. Obstacle to overcome. Clarify the obstacle to overcome for Aries, please. Whew. Okay, that was way too many cards. That was like 6 cards, 5 cards. I don't know how many cards. All right, a little less, please, Spirit. Obstacle to overcome for Aries, please. Okay. Again, message of the hardship and finances. You know what's interesting, Aries? I don't know what's going on in your life, and maybe you're super rich. So take this how it resonates, because a lot of times the Five of Cups is about feeling alone and feeling isolated. The majority of the time it's about feeling restricted financially and feeling like you can't make ends meet. But if you are rich and abundant, quite literally, materially, this could represent you feeling alone, okay? So obstacle to overcome could be one or the other, either needing to get over having a pity party for yourself regarding lack of finances, or needing to get over yourself in terms of feeling alone. If a caveman spends all his time in a cave and never ventures out, guess what happens? He never has any friends. He never has any community. Nobody knows he's there. You know, and I'm just saying that if your message is that you feel alone, you know, a lot of people expect, this is kind of the toxic side of manifestation. They expect things to just, like somebody knock on their doorstep, a new friend, a new business partner, a new romantic interest, knocking on your door, or you run into that person. That's not to say that that's impossible, but normally Spirit, God, universe wants you to take inspired action, which means in order to be a vibrational match to new relationships, you have to step outside of your comfort zone. You have to step outside of your door. You have to actually go to the grocery store instead of ordering them. And I order my groceries quite often, but every now and then I go to the grocery store. You know what I mean? Like, you got to just put yourself out there. You know what I mean? All right, let's look at who and why we're reconciling for a major accomplishment. Let's clarify that. Okay, Six of Cups for Aries. Please clarify major accomplishment for Aries. Okay, that was fast. All right, we've got Nine of Pentacles. Now, to me, Aries, this would suggest to me that you may be feeling abundant because of a relationship you have with something or someone from your past. Someone you used to work with may offer you some work or a job or income. It's almost usually definitely connected to the past, especially because for the majority of July, we're going to be in a Mercury retrograde. So any connection you have from the past is going to be relevant to helping you get out of your predicament this month, okay? What to avoid, I personally don't feel that I need to clarify this with the Ten of Wands. Try not to put too much on your plate. This is about delegation. This is about not overloading yourself, okay? We are going to clarify the Ten of Cups, which is big happy dreams come true and all that. Clarify the Ten of Cups for Aries. Clarify the Ten of Cups for Aries, please. All right, we have the High Priestess. Okay. Now, this could be about connecting with your intuition. This could be about reconnecting with somebody who is highly intelligent or highly intuitive, excuse me. But the High Priestess is also about someone who is secretive, someone who kind of keeps information close to the chest, you know. Personally, I just see this as like intuitively you already know who or what this is related to. But let's see what comes out of the Kipper. Clarify the Ten of Cups for Aries, please. Okay, something flipped over. The Sudden Wealth card. I mean, and that tracks for me. And maybe, Aries, maybe you yourself are very intuitive and are trying to grow an intuitive business, okay? If you are, it would prove to be very successful to me because the Ten of Pentacles is here, whereas that's representing where to find support. I'm interested to see what comes up in your career and finance reading, so I'm not going to dig too much into that card right now. Ten of Pentacles is usually connected with legacy and wealth and family. It isn't always. It could certainly come up just in regard to a general payday. Sorry, I thought I heard something. But it usually signifies abundance. So I would certainly expect, I feel confident to say, given the Nine of Pentacles here, given the different messages indicating that you're coming out of hardship, and given the Sudden Wealth card and the Ten of Pentacles, Aries, you're coming out of financial hardship this month. If that has been a struggle, you are coming out of financial hardship, okay? Again, if you're rich and abundant, because, you know, I want to believe that my audience is from different demographics, this could indicate, you know, this reading thus far could indicate either you gaining some sort of independence financially and making your own mark through intuitively guided decisions. This could also be about, you know, reconnecting with someone from the past and having maybe a very profitable idea. You know, it could be that energy. But expect finances to improve this month. And then lastly, we have the Hangman. I want to get a Kipper card for that. Clarify the Hangman for Aries, end of July, please. Advice and encouragement for Aries, 2026, July. Concern. Okay. By the end of July, there may be a situation that unfolds that you feel you don't have a lot of control over, that worries you. This is most likely going to be connected to family, relationships, or of course, career. Those tend to be the things that people care about most. It's usually, I mean, when I see the concern card, it's normally about relationships and you feeling stuck, maybe even a little helpless regarding someone that you would like to assist. Okay. All right, so that's our monthly forecast. Drop some comments below if that's resonating. Let's go ahead and move on to your love and relationships. All right, Aries. Love and relationships. Okay, Hangman is here again. You guys know I prefer you guys to write down repeating cards once they come out. That was like, it wanted to be a hiccup, but you know, anyway. It wasn't like a dramatic gasp. That's not what it was. It was like, that's what it wanted to be. I really hope I just make you laugh. I really do. All right, let's see what we got, Aries. What do you have for Aries July 2026? What messages you got for Aries? What do you have for Aries July 2026? All right, what else for Aries July 2026? Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay, let me just get into this before I get, okay. So what to expect? We do have the Justice card and the Eight of Swords reversed. Now, the Eight of Swords is typically about anxiety, fear, worry, rumination, feeling stuck, okay, feeling trapped. When we have it reversed, it can indicate feeling like you're coming out of that energy. Sometimes it can indicate being stuck in that energy, all right? The Justice card here is representative of the zodiac sign of Libra. In this deck, it is about reconciliation, mediation, that sort of things, what's fair, what's balanced, all that. To see it reversed can sometimes represent feeling like you didn't get what you felt was deserved to you, feeling like there's an injustice done, feeling like you're stuck because of an injustice or how somebody wronged you. Okay? So as we start the month of July, if I'm being honest, I would see this as you feeling like there's no hope. I would see this as you feeling like, what's the point? It's not going to go in my favor. Like, there's a lot of negative self-talk and there's a lot of like limiting beliefs, I feel, at the beginning of July. I don't really see this as relief. I don't see this as olive branch. I see this at the top of July. You're like, what's the point in trying to reconcile? Nothing good is going to come. You know, it's all that. Which, if that's your truth, that's your truth. But that's just what I'm seeing at the top of the month. However, the unexpected is the Emperor and the Hierophant. Now, the Emperor is connected to the zodiac sign of Aries. That is you, my baby. It is also connected to fatherhood. It's also connected to leadership. It's also connected to like bosses and supervision, decision makers, okay? I also connect it to feeling conviction in terms of getting things done. The High Priestess is connected to the zodiac sign of Taurus. It's also connected to marriage, partnerships, religion, tradition, things that are tried and true, reliable, and consistent. Okay? Now, to me, unexpectedly, this could indicate like a father figure finally stepping up, finally doing what you need them to do, finally stepping into their role. That's one interpretation. Unexpectedly, this could represent maybe a male or father figure of some sort getting a job, because sometimes the Hierophant is connected to like stabilization and like corporations and jobs, again, tried and true. This could also represent a male figure, you know, finding themselves spiritually unexpectedly, which could help the relationship. I will say my parents are still together after 47 years. In the times that they have separated, my dad has gotten into his faith. I'm not going to sit here and say he's not a religious man. I'm not going to sit here and say that, because he is quite pious, if I may. But he has his flaws. What I'm really getting at is that people can, for a time, get into their faith, but whether it's long lasting is to be observed. That's all I'll say. All right, so theme of the month, okay, is Hangman reverse. So maybe coming out of that energy of feeling stuck, okay? Now, I do think this is a little separate from the energy that I'm expecting to see at the end of July, because that's where you had that card, right, Hangman? This is Hangman reversed. So in your relationships, I do feel that you are going to finally get a response from someone, finally get some answers. We do have the Four of Swords reversed. This is a lot of anxiety and stress surrounding a relationship. We also have the Tower reversed. Sometimes the Tower reverse can indicate a disaster avoided. It could also represent an internal change and shift in beliefs. We also have the Queen of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, or the sign of someone very compassionate, empathetic, or nurturing and mothering. Now, how I tend to look at this is that after a period of stress and anxiety and radical shift and change, you finally get to this place where it's like, okay, things feel kind of balanced and calm in your love life. Sorry, I just dropped the Queen of Wands. That's how I'm interpreting that, okay? Overall, Aries, if I really could sum this up and water it, all the way down, it looks like you're starting July in a month where you enter it pessimistically. I don't even know if pessimistically is a word. You enter it quite pessimistic, but someone is actually surprising you because they're willing to do the work. Now, the issue might be whether or not you can trust that. And I think you just got to take it one day at a time. If you're in a committed relationship, this could represent that you're struggling to compromise or see eye to eye on an issue with your committed partner. This could represent you two both deciding to go to counseling. I just still get the sense, whether you're committed or whether you're dating, someone is stepping up unexpectedly. That's not to say that that eliminates all the anxiety. It's just to say, and it also might be you. Maybe you're the one that finally is like, okay, I'm going to step up and do what I need to do to be who I need to be in this relationship. Again, that doesn't eliminate the anxiety, but you just got to take it one day at a time. Because I don't see this situation being like, oh my God, I missed you too. Great, we're back together. That's not it. It's like, I missed you too. Can we still make this work? That's kind of the energy. You know what I mean? Let's look at this. Past life relationship. You have known each other before. To me, I really just think this is given your monthly forecast, I really just think someone from your past, something's not done with them. I don't really think we're talking about new connections here, okay? And if you're in a committed relationship, this to me is just confirmation. This is a past life relationship. You guys have things to work through. On a soul level, you can get through it. Because I'm not seeing destruction and termination. I'm seeing challenge and struggle, but an opportunity for growth. We do have playfulness here, which is great with your energy to recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. And lastly, we do have unrequited love. This is interesting. I really meditated on this card quite a lot recently, because it's come up in interesting ways in my own life and not the ways I would have expected. Typically, I would expect this card to represent, okay, I'm into someone, they're not into me, it's a wash. It's come up in my reading in unexpected ways. The message here is there's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. That does not mean, since I've recently learned, that the relationship is unable to thrive. It just means that the relationship is not balanced currently. Whether it thrives or not depends on the individuals. Because I've had this situation, this card come up in my own personal readings where like, it doesn't necessarily mean that the relationship is over or that it's canceled, it's a wash. It just means that, almost similar to the separation card, you guys aren't on the same page. You're not on the same page. It's not to say you can't get there, but you're not there right now. So with this card coming up, but seeing as how we have the past life and playfulness cards, I'm just seeing doubt. And I'm seeing that you need to be aware of your doubt, and your partner may be doubtful of you given past history. I kind of, like I was saying before, it almost feels like you and your person need to rebuild trust. And until that is established, there's going to be an imbalance, which would quite literally go back to the Justice card, because the Justice card is all about balance and balancing the scales. If you can't see that, like little scales in the background, give it, you can't always expect things to happen overnight. Sometimes you got to take it day by day, of rebuilding that trust, rebuilding that foundation back to each other, regardless of whether you've been separated for a while or whether or not you just had a tiff that really kind of put a crack in the foundation. If you and your partner are absolutely good this month, you guys may have some conflict with a Libra, Aries, or Taurus. Maybe you guys are parents and you're struggling with a water sign. I don't think that's the message. Maybe you're struggling with a Libra. Maybe you're struggling with feeling disconnected from one of your children. Maybe you're trying to convince one of your kids to stay in school, because sometimes the Hierophant can represent school and education. Maybe you're feeling you're not like hearing from your partner as often as you should, or your child as often as you should, feeling ghosted in some way. However you're feeling throughout this month, it doesn't feel like the end all be all. It feels temporary. I'm not going to sit here and say that you're not going to be uncomfortable this month. You will be uncomfortable in some way in your love life this month, but you do get to a point where like, okay, everything's good. You get to a point of equilibrium. Okay? Trust me on this. Let me know how things go. Let's move on to your career and finances. All right, here we go. Career and finances. All right, let's get some oracle messages for Aries, July 2026. Aries, July 2026. First of all, what was this one? Yeah. The Tower is out here again. I want you guys to write that down. Eight of Swords is out here again. Write those down. Meditate on those cards. Look up their meanings. What do you have for Aries? Okay, we'll take those. All right, what to expect? We do have the King of Swords and the Moon. The King of Swords reversed or just upright is connected to the air signs Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, typically connected with wisdom and intelligence and foresight. Now, to see it reversed can indicate that your communication is lacking, especially in a professional setting, or maybe feeling disconnected from an air sign, or feeling like you're struggling to communicate, or even just feeling off your game. The moon does represent the zodiac sign of Pisces, okay? This could be connected to a Pisces in some way. This is typically about feeling like you're in the fog, feeling like things aren't clear, and having to tap into your emotions. To see it reverse could represent clarity oftentimes, like a situation that was unclear is now becoming more clear because the fog is lifting, if you will. Usually, if I'm being honest, this is usually the fog being lifted about someone, like, again, another air sign, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, or someone who's just highly intelligent, or some sort of professional, like a lawyer, a doctor, therapist, like that kind of thing. If you felt disconnected from this person, you're finally going to get information as to why. If you felt like they were holding back, you would find out why. That moon being reversed is usually about revealing revelations, information, the fog lifting. Being that the King of Swords is here, it's usually related to a person, okay? Especially in your work life, if you feel like your boss wasn't being really like forthcoming with you, you're going to figure out why. Usually these things do happen around the lunar cycle, so I would expect this to happen within days of the full moon in Capricorn, especially because the Capricorn is connected to work and resources and finances. All right, the unexpected. Wheel of Fortune, Eight of Swords. Wheel of Fortune is good luck, good karma, good fortune, divine timing, the changing of the karmic wheel. There's a change coming that you're quite anxious about. You're like, oh my God, I don't know if I'm ready. Oh my God, I don't know if I can do this. Who put me up to this? Who put my hat in the ring? I don't know. Just, you know, I watch a lot of period dramas. I watch a lot of period dramas, and oftentimes the best people who are leaders are the people who don't want to be. So if you find yourself in that position this month, like, oh my God, I didn't want to be a supervisor. I didn't want to be in charge of this. You're most likely going to make a good leader. And you're a cardinal sign. So just embrace that. A cardinal sign, which would be Capricorn, Aries, Libra, and what is the water sign cardinal sign? Cancer. Those zodiac signs tend to be very good at leadership. Okay, that's not to say any of the other signs can't. It's just a message to say that innately you, Aries, are a cardinal sign and a natural born leader. Embrace it. All right, theme of the month. I couldn't pick it up with my fucking nails. Four of Wands reversed. Okay, so we've got some disconnect or some disharmony either in your home life or your home finances, or a disruption in your home that is affecting your finances. The Tower is here again. Sudden change, chaos, upheaval. King of Cups is here reversed. Water sign energy, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. To see it reverse often indicates typically a male, but it could be, any gender. Someone who is dysregulated emotionally. And we do have the Ace of Wands, a new passion, a new fire to be burning within you, something that's got you kind of stirring and excited. This seems to me like either disruptions or a lot of change in the home is almost forcing you into something new. Sometimes it's like that. Sometimes it's like that, of like so much change at once forces you to pivot. This could be somebody moving out unexpectedly, affecting your finances. This could be just arguments happening in the home. This could be hormonal if you're dealing with a bunch of women. I don't normally say that, but I'm just going to go ahead and say that. This could be changes in the workplace. And maybe you're coming home and venting about it, and that's a problem. Maybe your partner doesn't want to hear it. Sorry, I just heard a bunch of knocking. Sometimes, like, when I hear knocking, I can't tell if it's my neighbor, like, because I live in a duplex. And it's not like a duplex where, like, the walls are paper thin, because this home was built in, like, 1911. So, like, I don't hear my neighbors much. But if I hear a lot of bumping, I can't tell if it's my front door, because I'm on the top, or if it's my neighbors just making noise. Because my office is in the back of the apartment. My front door is all the way at the front of the apartment and also downstairs. And so I have a doorbell, but if somebody doesn't ring the doorbell, I won't hear. Anyway, I don't know why I'm explaining this to you. Anyway, there is going to be a need for emotional regulation, whether it's yours or someone else's, that seems to be affecting your finances this month, okay? The oracle messages are success will find you. I love to see this here. Usually when this card appears, it is something that you did not apply for. It's usually word of mouth, opportunity just comes to you, and abundance is there for the taking if you want it. Explorer. Okay, this is about you seeking opportunities. Keep trying. There are no mistakes, just opportunities to learn and grow. You may be called to explore careers that match your fearlessness and curiosity. You may need to go wandering and trust the unknown. That's where the magic lies. Now, I know you're like, Whitney, you just told me that I'm going to find success, or success will find me. Why do I need to explore? You never know how this shit could happen. You could apply for a job that you're not a fit for, and then suddenly they're like, oh, hey, you're not a fit for this, but like you'd be a good fit for this job. Or you could apply for one job and not even realize that your resume is now in the pool, a talent pool of like, some conglomerate, and then suddenly you get an email, hey, we got your resume from blah, 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 blah. Are you interested in this opportunity? Or you connect with a hiring manager and they say, you're not going to fit for this, but like we have this. Again, don't discredit. And also there's an energy. First of all, let me finish my thought. Don't discredit the actions required to achieving success. Every breadcrumb matters. And also sometimes the momentum matters more than anything. Sometimes just like being, ramping up and like doing the work and getting out there creates that energetic traction that you need to attract more to you. So it's not really about needing the next opportunity to be the opportunity. It's about proving to the universe that you're ready for opportunity. I really hope that makes sense. All right, we have beware. All right. Be prudent. Things are not what they seem. Careful who you talk to regarding money or business matters. Don't make any type of financial commitments right now. Whenever I see this, I just see this as keep your cards close to your chest. Don't let everybody know what you're up to right now. Okay? Mostly because you don't need a lot of varying opinions. And also you don't want to give somebody, like you don't want to tell your coworker, hey, I'm looking for new opportunities. And that fucker tells your boss and then suddenly you're let go and you don't know why. Just careful. We also have leadership, which makes a lot of sense to me. It's time to step up into the leadership role in your life. You can expect to succeed in any leadership positions. Your finances will greatly improve once you accept and step into your power. I think I'm going to do spirit animal this month. I hope those messages resonated with you. I really don't have anything else to say about them, okay? But for your oracle message, I want to do spirit animal. I haven't done spirit animal in a while. We're going to do spirit animal for July. Okay? All right, what do you have for Aries for the month of July? And we got one. It is, I got two. I didn't realize. We have two messages. Dragonfly spirit. Truth transcends illusions. Truth transcends illusion. And then Rhino spirit, overcome any obstacle. Now, I'm going to read Dragonfly because I saw this one first. But this message is about, it's kind of like that message of like, there's more than one way to skin a cat. And kind of being open to more than one ways that you can cognitively think of to overcome an obstacle. Okay? Is really what and also kind of confirmation that you will overcome obstacles. But I'm going to read the Dragonfly Spirit card. I'm not going to lie, this card is a little trippy. Sometimes I read it and I'm just like, what? Maybe to you it's going to make perfect sense. But just try to like really tap into your most woo-woo version of yourself. And we're going to read this message. Here we go. Dragonfly Spirit is here to remind you of the wisdom and truth available at all times in the hidden realms. Just as a dragonfly catches your eye with its reflective wings and body, Dragonfly Spirit appears to tell you to pay attention to the truth beyond the illusion and recognize the insights that come seemingly out of nowhere, peeking through from behind the veil. I'm going to pause here. So if you're just like sitting on a park bench and like all of a sudden you're like, you know what, that bitch is lying to me. Trust it. Trust it. Recognize the insights that come seemingly out of nowhere. Those little nuggets of information that kind of just pop into your head, that's spirit. That's not deductive reasoning. In the realm of spirit, there is far more wisdom than you can perceive with your senses, and there is a deep knowing that you are not separate or alone. For a higher power recognizes you and loves you beyond measure. Fears dissipate as you realize you are embraced by the nurturing force that is everywhere, always in communication with you, alighting when you are preoccupied. Dragonfly Spirit offers this message. You exist in the unity with all, including the protective spirits who share their wisdom, and you are being nudged along the path your soul needs to travel to have the experiences it craves. I feel like I don't even know what the fuck I just read. You coexist in the unity of all, including the protective spirits who share their wisdom, and you being nudged along the path. Trust the nudges. I'm not even done, but I'm just trying to break this down in nuggets because I told you this message is a little trippy. You got to trust the little nudges that you are being given right now, even if they don't make sense. Okay. Love exists in many forms, and sometimes we overlook it when we don't recognize a particular form. Pay attention to the signs now. They remind you that each of us have inspired dreams seamlessly sewn into the fabric of the invisible world, and there is a great consciousness that exists in the seemingly empty spaces guiding us on our journey. Open to the truth, letting the wisdom of the hidden realms inform you, providing insights your conscious mind overlooks. I told you it was a little trippy, but I'm gonna water it down like this. If you feel inspired action to text somebody, to call somebody, to go to a store, to go to a different post office, to apply for a certain job you're not qualified for, whatever, random nudges and information that comes seemingly out of nowhere, trust it this month. I hope that's helpful, Aries. Let me know in the comments below. I love you so much. I'm looking forward to how July goes for you. It looks like this is going to be better than May and June, and I'm really looking forward to a glow up for you. Bye.